Robert's Rules of Order is a 100-plus-year-old system for conducting meetings. Mark will attempt to present this dry subject in a fun and informative way to the non-technical audience with project number 3 from the Advanced Manual Technical Presentations titled A Culture of Order.
Have you ever been to a boring meeting, or worse yet, a meeting like this? Robert's Rules of Order. It's a framework for conducting effective meetings. This next concept that I'm going to bring up is going to be like a phoenix rising out of the ashes because I've spoken about it before. It's the golden circle. The golden circle is a way of taking conventional thinking and making it remarkable by starting in the center and asking why. We're going to use this model to talk about Robert's Rules of Order. Why do we need Robert's Rules of Order? Obviously, there's a number of benefits to using it. We process one thing at a time, which makes it efficient. It promotes efficiency and fairness as well by giving everybody a voice. But it avoids the standstill and the stalemates of trying to get everyone to absolutely agree by using a majority vote. Finally, it's applicable directly in our everyday lives. Outside of Toastmasters, even if we don't incorporate Robert's rules directly, we can use the good parts to give us the same benefits in our meetings. And it's scalable. We can use this for small meetings up to huge meetings. There's another reason we might use it. Our club constitution says we shall. Robert's Rules of Order is the actual official parliamentary procedure we're supposed to be using to conduct meetings. But there's a much more important reason that we want to use this. It is part of the leadership curriculum that Toastmasters gives us. We don't want to leave out any important steps of the curriculum. Can you imagine having a new member get his Competent Communicator Manual and then tearing out the Body Speaks project, the one on gestures, and doing his speeches like, well, you know, that gestures and eye contact thing, I don't think it's the wave of the future, and I don't think I need to build on that skill. That would be crazy. So we should not leave out any important steps in the leadership curriculum either. However, we do need to strike the correct balance for our needs as a club. And the balance somewhere between this and this guy. We find a sweet spot in the middle. So we know why we're using Robert's rules and how we have to get the right balance to make it work for us. But let's just jump right in and start learning immediately, because the best way to learn such a boring subject is getting everyone involved in something I like to call Robert's Rules of Order karaoke. Are you guys ready for some karaoke? First, I want to see if you guys have been paying attention. Who here knows Donna's absolute favorite Toastmaster phrase? Just by a show of hands, does anyone here know? She used it last meeting. She uses it all the time. I'm going to give you guys a little hint. Anyone have an idea? Really? Yes, Sydney. Awesome! Sydney is a timer, so he's going to escape karaoke duty, if that's okay, unless you'd like to participate.
No, thank you.
Okay, who would like to have the royalty hat? I think, Dr. Lucy, would you like to participate with us?
In what?
In karaoke. You don't have to sing.
Oh, okay.
You just have to be able to read. I'm going to give Dr. Lucy the hat of royalty, the purple. Who else would like to wear a hat? Anyone? I know Des wants to participate. Being the karaoke star that she is. Let's make you red. Okay, anyone else? Would anyone else like to wear a hat and have fun with us? All right, Ron. Okay. So remember your color. Ron, you're yellow. Dr. Lucy, you're purple. That's important. And Des, you are red. The reason I'm saying remember your color is because you're going to be cued by the screen. When you see this, if it's your color, you raise your hand.
Okay.
Raising your hand is how you gain the floor at a meeting. Now we're going to pretend this is a meeting and I'll be the chairman. The chairman, or the same thing as presiding officer, is just the person that's running the meeting, and it's usually the president. And the next ranking officer in the president's absence. So I'll play the part of the chair, and everyone here is going to play the part of the members. And my volunteers with hats, you guys, your lyrics are going to be up there. So the next thing you'll see is this. These are your lyrics. So when you see your icon in the lower right over there, that's the lyrics that you're going to use. So let's give this a try. If this screen comes up, what do we do? Oh, and raise it high so we can all see. Yes, Des.
I want to rock!
Yeah, good. Very good. I think we all got the concept. So let's just get started. We're going to do 3 songs today. Our 3 Roberts rules. We're going to sing the main motion, the amendment, and the ratify. These are our songs, and we'll go through them step by step. The first one is the main motion. This is how club does business. The reason I picked these 3 rules is because without these 3 rules, the club can't do any business. When new business comes up, it's brought up as a main motion. And it's worded as, I move to, followed by your proposal. Someone then seconds that motion. And all that means, it doesn't mean you condone it. It just means you want to discuss it. It sounds good enough that you'd like to discuss it and we should move forward. If it's seconded, we go into debate and discussion, and then we take a vote. I think everyone's got the idea, so let's get started with this. Is there any new business today? Yes, Des.
I move that we purchase a projector for the club for club use.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor to purchase a projector for club use, and it's been seconded. Is there any debate? Yes, Des.
We need a projector to practice without having to borrow John's all the time. The truth.
Is there any other debate? Yes, Dr. Lucy.
That sounds expensive. How much does a projector cost?
Des, do you happen to know how much a projector might cost?
About $400 for the same model as the one we usually borrow from John.
Okay, Ron, you had something to say?
We should buy a hard case to protect it from damage.
Is there any other debate? Yes, Dr. Lucy.
Well, we'd need cables to connect the projector to the members' laptops.
Great. And this is how the motion proceeds, from a motion to be seconded and into debate. But now the motion on the floor is to purchase a projector, and there's been a lot of discussion. It doesn't quite fit what we're trying to do, and we need a way to tweak it. That's what the amendment is for. We can make an amendment to change the wording of the motion on the floor. If you look at the structure, it's just like a main motion, but it's just changing the main motion and starts, I move to amend. It requires a second, and we can debate the wording on the amendment before voting on it. So let's give this a shot. Is there any more discussion? Yes, Des.
I move to amend the motion to read purchase a projector, needed cables, and hard case not to exceed $450.
Second.
Excellent. We have a motion to amend the original motion on the floor to read to purchase a projector, the needed cables, a hard case not to exceed $450. Is there any more debate? Okay, let's take a vote. All those in favor of this amendment say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Okay, so that motion is passed. And what that means is we've just amended the original main motion. That's it. So we're still working on that main motion, and this is how we can make changes. Boy, that was a lot of work. Who's got that kind of time to do this at a regular meeting? We're here to do speeches, evaluations. We can't be doing all this stuff. This is what the executive committee or the board is for. They're doing a lot of the behind-the-scenes work to keep the club going, plan special events. but neither the president or the board has any authority to act without the membership except for very few, very specific cases. So the board brings these proposals to the membership to be ratified, to get the membership's blessing that this is a good idea after the board has really thought these through. So how do we do that? Well, we bring up our ratify song, and this is our third rule that we're going to teach today, how to ratify. And this is something the chairman will use, presenting at new club business during the meeting. And it sounds something like this. I make the motion to ratify the board's decision to purchase a projector, the needed cables, and hard case, not to exceed $450. Is there any debate? This doesn't need to be seconded. And if there's no debate, we take a vote. And then, if everyone votes yes, congratulations, the club has the permission to go out and buy all the supplies, which is somewhat kind of what happened last year. So we've talked about these three common rules. And I picked them because, like I said, we can't do business without them. But there's many more rules. I put together a one-page cheat sheet with the 15 most common rules that I think that the club's going to be using this term as we learn Robert's rules together as part of the Toastmasters curriculum. But these rules come from this book. It's 170 pages. It's called The Robert's Rules of Order, Newly Revived in Brief. And this is not an official book of Robert's Rules. It's merely a summary to kind of summarize the official rules. I did read most of this to try to figure out what exactly is going on. The official book, Robert's Rules of Order Newly Revised, is over 660 pages. I did not read that book. I don't own that book, but I suspect this guy probably does. So what did we learn today? We learned that Robert's Rules, using it, is just part of the leadership curriculum. So we should learn this because it's something Toastmasters wants us to learn that we can use. It's designed for efficient and fair meetings. Everyone gets a voice. You might not like the final decision, but you get your chance to speak your mind. And it applies to the outside world. We can use, even if we don't use the actual rules verbatim, we can use these concepts of courtesy and efficiency in all of our meetings. Finally, we went over and we practiced the three rules together, so hopefully you have a better understanding. Why? To avoid this. Madam Toastmaster.